Hey, thanks. I just continue on with this subject. I started January 1 of this year, and definitely have noticed just interesting tensions with I think you're kind of referring to instructor position versus the tenure track faculty. And there was an article recently on one of my news feeds, so it's either Slate or Huffington Post or New York Times, about perhaps a proposal, like, and maybe even a movement that maybe the U.S. World and News Report College Edition should articulate, what fraction of classes are taught by adjuncts, and universities should be dinged for that, in the sense of, those people may or may not be back each semester. You can't build a relationship over 4 years if that's a really temporary position. But as you pointed out, there are at some level the mover and shakers. They have a lot of students that pass through them. They can be around for a very long time. So are you in the, if push came to shove, would you be encouraging just stop with the adjunct hires, make them into professional, tenure track positions, because that's what should be should be supported? Or are you saying that there needs to be these are here to stay positions, and we should support that and let that be a part of the atmosphere for whatever reasons? I don't know what your sense you come down on, and like, do we want to try to change so that there aren't as many adjunct positions, or do we want to change so that those are more respected positions? Not that that's an either or necessarily situation, given what's going on.
The answer to the question. Oh, no need. Actually, we're not here. Well, I'll answer the question. The answer to the question is that we have in our mind a very specific definition of what should be temporary positions. We, by the way, do not have adjuncts as a title in our system. They are all temporary positions. And the notion is that there are great flexibilities that will occur in terms of funding and program needs. There are also people that we bring in because of their expertise. They have full-time jobs elsewhere. In addition to that, they teach. Those are all appropriate for that state. We then have, in addition, as Bob points out, a bunch of people who are on quote-unquote soft money. And that means it's coming from grants in all sorts of forms. In that situation, that's why we wrote the language. If you have 70% of the funding for your position coming from state funds, it should then be eligible for tenure. And if it's continued for 7 years, they have demonstrated a long-term need, so they should be converted. The answer to the question is the university should maximize the number of tenure track positions in a reasonable set of planning for the growth of and enrollment of the college or the university and for the needs of the program. In a sense, tenure is the default for our profession. The others are the exception. The others are there to meet a special need. And further, we understand that it is a transitional position for people entering our profession, and therefore we should have opportunities for those people to move forward. You should not be, we were trying to get away from the Carlas, all right, and the Sharons who spent 20 years in those positions. There was no reason for that, none whatsoever, that they should spend 20 years in what they did, because they were generally funded entirely on that purpose. So does that answer your?
Are you referring to instructors or not? There's different things, and there's lecturers that are semester by semester.
We have two groups. Instructors are hired on annual contracts for 1 year. Lecturers are hired semester by semester. We have a system, the lecturer system is one that, again, should not be abused economically, and that's how we've tried to address the lecturer side. The instructor side should not be abused by temporary status. That's the conversion side. They are different issues. Now, we understand that there are lecturers who will move into instructional positions like Sharon did. We also understand that there are lecturers, many of them, who often teach under the 50% mark that would even put them in the bargaining unit. But we still control the lecturer fee schedules for them as well. So they're two different, they're people we look at, though, in two different situations. Are you a lecturer or an instructor? A professor. You're in an instructional position. What they say is an I position, yes. And we want you to be tenure track if you're not already, unless, again, you are simply in that position because of a fixed term funding situation, a project, or something else like that.